Great to have you join us on our very first podcast of SportsWomen Australia, brought to you by my Chemist Warehouse. Tiffany Cherry with you alongside my co-host Amanda Cellante, and together each week, as our name suggests, we'll bring you a mix of the biggest names, brightest rising stars and power brokers of women's sport in Australia.
And first up, Tiff, they don't come much bigger than Australian Ashes winning cricket captain and Women's Big Bash League player from Perth Scorchers, Meg Lanning. A few weeks ago, we sat down with this incredible athlete, regarded as the best female batter in the world. She averages just over 50 from her 75 one-day internationals, including 12 centuries and a high score of 152 not out.
Add to that an incredible unbeaten 133 as her best return from her 88 T20 internationals, plus 4 tests to her name, and you start to get the picture. So let's deep dive and find out more about this prodigious talent who has taken the women's international cricket world by storm.
Hello guys, how are you?
Good to have you, and I hope it's not too early in the morning, but great to have you on board their podcast, and thank you for joining us. How does it feel, obviously, to be not only retaining the Ashes, but you've still got one more match to play, but just to know that the Ashes are in the bag?
Yeah, it's great. We obviously came over here with the aim of winning the Ashes, not just returning them, and to do it so early in the season, in the series, I guess, is a really great thing for the group, and we've worked really hard and played some good cricket, so we're hoping we can finish it off.
And for you personally, 2015 you played in the Ashes, 2017 you were injured, and we'll get to that a little later, but how does it compare to win the Ashes as a player first time around and then as a captain?
The time we won it last, I think it was 2015, we hadn't won an English tour for 14 years, so that was a pretty big moment for the squad, and we had to win that outright as England held the Ashes heading into that. So that was a special series, no doubt about that. But this one's up there as well, I guess, for different reasons so far. We've been able to play good cricket and dominate at times. So it's a great spot for the squad to be in. Ashes series always very special, and hopefully we can make sure we finish off on a high.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible, and you're right, you definitely have been dominating. I just have another question to go on with your captaincy. So we understand you were captain for the World Cup in 2018. How have you developed as a leader throughout this Ashes series? Do you feel like you've grown and had more opportunities?
Yeah, I think you're always learning on the cricket field. There's always something new happening, and as a leader, I guess it's important to be pretty level throughout the whole series. And I guess at the start of the series, I personally wasn't performing as well as I would have liked. We were winning games, which is always good. But just, I guess, working through those battles and making sure you're putting the team first, I guess, but also focusing on how you can perform well and contribute as an individual, I guess. So it's been nice to be able to work through that, and I feel like I'm hitting some good form at the back end. So, the group makes it pretty easy for me, to be honest. They do their own thing and get it done pretty well.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, just on your performance, you're right, like at the start you probably weren't on your greatest form. You were out for 16 and 18 early on. And then you came out with an impressive 69, and you've just absolutely slaughtered the T20s. What's been different for you in the lead up to those matches? Like, have your preparations changed? What's the difference? Why is such the amazing performance?
I think in the lead up to the Test match, I had a good chat with our coach Matthew Mutton, our analyst Sonny Pallier, and I just sort of noticed something slightly technical in terms of being really still at the crease, and I found that I was moving around a lot and probably a little bit too much. So we probably identified that heading into the Test, and I think from that moment on I felt a little bit more comfortable. And when you do spend some time out in the middle, although in the Test match it wasn't really free flowing, I was able to spend some time in the middle, and that's really important as a batter. So after the Test, heading into the T20s, I was really excited because it just meant to go out there and play and not think too much and swing the bat at a few balls, and it was nice to get a few away early in the first T20 and go from there.
Well, you 133 off 63 balls, obviously a world record. You absolutely belted it with 7 sixes and 14 through the boundary. What is your mindset when you're in that such great form? How are you out in the middle, and does the ball, as they say, is it as big as a basketball? Like, what is it feeling like for you?
Yeah, I guess it was one of those days where it seemed to go right from the start, really, and it was a great batting wicket and lightning outfit as well. And I guess when you're on, I guess in that sense, every ball you hit goes in the gap, and you're able to find the boundary more often. So, to be honest, I wasn't thinking about too much. We headed into the T20 games wanting to play good cricket shots as batters. I think it's easy to sort of get caught up in slogging and trying to hit the ball too hard. So I was sort of focusing on that throughout my innings. And, it was just one of those days where I was able to get going and continue on.
I just want to revert back to your captaincy before we keep talking about the format and a few other things. But you first became captain, I think, when you were just 21. Was it Josie Fields was injured and you'd only just become the vice captain? What was that like, just stepping up into, obviously pretty much the biggest role in Australian sport? It is regarded as such for someone so young.
Yeah, it was a big step, and I hadn't done a lot of leadership or captaincy through my junior career, so it was the first time I'd sort of taken on the role, and
wow.
I hadn't had a lot of chance to settle in, so I was sort of making it up as I went along, to be honest with you, but I had some really good support behind me within the team and the coaching staff, and I've sort of been learning on the job a fair bit. So I'm sort of someone who does like to go with the flow. So in a way, it sort of helped that I didn't have too many preconceived ideas about how it was going to work. So I've been learning all the time. I think on the field is probably where I find it the easiest as such, because that's sort of where I feel quite natural, and playing cricket is what we do, whereas I guess off the field it's about building relationships and trying to get the team to work as well as we can. So that's, I guess, one of the biggest challenges.
Yeah, that's incredible. Tiffany did just mention the format. So obviously the women's Ashes format is different to the men's. So just for the listener, we have the 3 one-day internationals, the Test and the 3 T20s. Do you enjoy playing in this format, or would you like to see it change to match more of what the men's format is like?
We do enjoy this format. I think it's a really good one, and to be honest, we'd love to sort of play more countries in the same format. We don't play many test matches. We play one every 2 years. So that would actually give us the opportunity to play more tests. And I think it still upholds, I guess, the tradition of the women's game. So we feel like T20s and one days are probably the main format that we play in. So I think it sort of encapsulates everything that the game's about at the moment.
So for you guys now, you've still got one more match to play before it's finished. You're leading the tournament 12-2 at the moment with a T20, of course, our time Thursday morning, your time Wednesday. What do you do now, heading into the last match? Obviously it's about finishing off strongly, but how do you keep that up, that sort of momentum up amongst the group?
Yeah, I think as a group over the past 18 months we've been really good at finishing things off and not letting teams back in, and we've been speaking about that the whole way through, and I guess now we've got the carrot of a whitewash in front of us, and that's certainly something we're looking forward to hopefully doing it. You don't get these opportunities very often, so every time we go out we want to win, and it's going to be no different in this last game. So beating England's always tough, and a lot of fun as well when we can do it, so we'll try and make the most of it.
Actually, I found a great stat. You haven't been dismissed by England since 2015. You've actually been run out, I think it was in 2016. But what is it about the mother country that they find it so difficult to get a person by the name of Meg Lanning actually out? And it's not just been in England either. It's all around the world.
Yeah, I did see that stat. It's an interesting one because there's some of those games are a year apart, so you sort of don't realise it at the time. But I guess that's the nature of T20 cricket. Sometimes you sort of can get on top of an opposition and you sort of play, these bowlers so often. A lot of them play in the WBBL as well. So, hopefully that can continue.
All right, we've just got a couple of questions now about sort of your lead up to where you are today. We understand that you did miss out on the last Ashes series because of a shoulder injury. What was it like for you at that time to miss out on such a big opportunity, and how did you endeavour to get through that both physically and mentally? Yeah,
it was certainly a tough time, I guess. I hadn't really missed any cricket before that through injury, and to miss such a big series was frustrating, and we were coming off a disappointing World Cup campaign as well, so would have loved to be out there. But I think, looking back now, having gotten back on the playing field, I think it was a good learning curve for me. I was able to see things from a different perspective, and I guess in a way it was sort of a mid-career break, I guess. So I think in the long run it'll, as much as I hated it at the time, I think it'll be a good thing, and I'm really enjoying being back out there.
When you say you learn, it's a good learning curve. What did you learn sitting out and watching it as a spectator rather than being out there on the field?
Yeah, I guess, had been lucky enough in my career up to that point to, not be dropped and sort of not be outside of the bubble. And that was the first time I'd sort of experienced that. So I guess I had a little bit of empathy for those who have been in that situation before, whereas up until that point, I sort of found it difficult to get a grasp on what that felt like. So I feel like I can have conversations with people now and understand where they're coming from when things aren't working or you're not quite there. So I think that's probably been the biggest thing.
And obviously that really helps with your leadership. Matching in with that line of thinking, then your younger sister, Anna, who plays cricket, obviously pretty bloody good at it as well. Amazing the fact that you guys, I still shake my head, you're born on the same day, 2 years apart, and obviously top cricketers. She's yet to represent Australia. So how has that helped in terms of your relationship with her, perhaps out on the cricket field? Maybe when it's talking about cricket, you're able to, to have more empathy with regards to where she's at in her cricket career?
Yeah, I think so. And we've played a lot of cricket together, and I've always really enjoyed playing alongside Anna. She's good fun to be around and play with. And I sort of try to pass on a little bit of advice here and there. But as I said, she's played well so far. She enjoys her cricket. She's playing with ACT at the moment in the WNTL competition. So we could potentially play against each other at some point, which would be interesting. But yeah, hopefully she can continue to do well, and never know where it can end up.
Are you going to be playing in the WBBL? Obviously, you've missed the last couple of seasons. So is that on the horizon for you?
Yeah, I'm with Perth Scorchers for this season. So we play a little bit early this year. I think October, November is our tournament. So first time it's been standalone. So we're looking forward to that.
And then just with in terms of just you growing up as well, family of five, take us back into the backyard duels. Obviously during summer, what was it like?
Yeah, it was always very competitive. Whether it was cricket or footy or anything that was happening at the time, there was plenty going on, and my mum and dad were into sport as well. Dad played a lot and watched a lot, so that was probably where we got our love for sport from, and we just loved being active. So there's plenty of people to play against and run around with. So certainly a very enjoyable childhood.
Now, Meg, we've seen Ash Barty. She had a bit of a spell with cricket, and now she's gone back to tennis and is absolutely dominating. What do you like with a tennis racket?
Not very good. I played a lot of hockey growing up, so that was my other sport. So, Ash has done amazingly well over the past 18 months, and it was great to see her come to cricket, try that. She was pretty good at that as well, but go back and dominate the sport that she sort of grew up loving. So it's nice to see her doing so well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Did you play hockey for Carey? Were you in the hockey team?
I did. That was my winter sport. Yeah.
There you go. So, again, so an old Carey Gamerian, which is great to be able to share that. That's all I share with you in terms of any kind of connection. But, again, another outstanding, amazing stat with regards to your development. When I was at school, and I don't think I'd ever even heard of, certainly hadn't heard of a female playing in the first 11, but I hadn't even heard of one of the guys playing from year 10. But you were given the nod to join the first 11, which is obviously the oldest guys at school, as a year 9 student, which is phenomenal. What was it like when you were obviously tapped on the shoulder or whatever it was? The conversation was said that you were picked for the first 11.
Yeah, I really enjoyed playing school cricket. I was playing in the boys' teams from year 7 all the way through, so it wasn't too of a new experience, I guess. But yeah, I guess I was the first girl to do it in that competition, and I didn't think too much about it, to be honest. I just wanted to play cricket, and they didn't have a girls' team at Carey at the time, so that was sort of the only chance I got. So I really enjoyed it. I think it played a really important role in my development, and I think we played a lot of 2-day cricket as well during that time, so good opportunity to spend some time out in the middle and challenge myself.
Now, in terms of sort of men's and women's cricket, I think Cricket Australia has done a fantastic job of promoting the women's game, significantly more than perhaps some other codes have. What are your opinions on the disparities between men and women's cricket in regards to opportunities and things like that?
I think cricket has been leading the way, and I guess everyone wants to improve and do better in anything that they do. But I think compared to when I came through the pathway program to now, the opportunities are so much better and are there for anyone coming through. So cricket is the summer sport in Australia, and now whether you're a boy or a girl, you can get involved and play. So we feel like we play an important role promoting the game and hopefully being role models for young people coming through, and hopefully those opportunities can continue to grow.
You're seeing that even now in the current series in the Ashes with Australia dominating England. Is it just with regards to the professionalism of cricket in Australia for women, is there just a great divide in terms of what Australia offers compared to other countries?
I think it's closer than what the scoreboard suggests over here. I think we've probably got a better depth in our domestic structures.
Yeah.
I think over here in England they've got professional contracts at the top end, but I think our domestic structures underneath are probably more developed, and that's not by accident. That's been a lot of time, effort and money put in by Cricket Australia and those helping to get to that point. So, yeah, I feel like we've really developed ahead of the time, I guess, and I guess we're seeing the rewards of that now.
There's a few debutants in the current Ashes squads, and I know obviously we've been really strong for the last 4 or 5 years, but it must be pretty exciting with the likes of Ash Gardner and Sophie Molyneux, etc. Taylor just really starting to shine and know that we're in great hands moving forward.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's one of the great things about our side is we've got the experienced players who have played a lot of cricket, but also we've been able to add to our squad with some younger players who have come in and performed well straight away. So I think that's a testament to our domestic structure and also the squad that we've got here that young people can come in and feel comfortable and play well. So we've got good variety within our squad and some really good depth as well. So it's certainly a great group to be around.
And we've got obviously the ICC T20 World Cup in your home soil coming up early next year in Feb and March. Amazing opportunity to showcase just how good this Australian team is to the world and to host the best in the world.
It is, absolutely. Yeah, that'll be our most of the girls' first chance to play a World Cup on home soil, and we're looking forward to that. We've got quite a bit of cricket between now and then, but for the summer sort of culminate, I guess, in a World T20 event. We're looking forward to that, and the final potentially being 90,000 plus at the MCG. We hope to be a part of it. We've got a bit of work to do there, but it's certainly going to be a great event for sport in Australia.
Another world record for you to add to your list.
Yeah, hopefully. As I said, we want to be a part of it, and I think it'll be a great event. It could be a sort of a watershed moment for women's sport around the world if we can get to that point.
Now, Meg, you did mention that you did enjoy playing hockey as a kid. We're just wondering what sport you've been watching lately. Did you watch any of the hockey roos over in Europe recently? We saw a little bit of it, and then obviously the Soccer World Cup was on as well, and netball. So there's been a lot happening over here in the UK and Europe, and obviously the men's Ashes starting very soon as well. So I love sport, so I watch everything. I've been keeping up to date with the Swannies while we've been over here, which hasn't been much good, unfortunately, but. Yeah, I love sport, and it's great to see everyone do so well. Yeah,
it's not the Swannies' year, but that's okay. Their time will come. They've had a few good years. And will you be sticking around for the men's Ashes?
No, we head home straight away. We've got 3 and a bit weeks at home, and then we head back to the West Indies. So we've got a pretty busy summer. So I'll be watching a lot of it. There'll be a few late nights, I think, back in Australia.
Thank you so much, Meg, for your time. We really appreciate it. Enjoy the men's Ashes, as of course we all will. And we wish you and the Southern Stars all the very best for your upcoming 3-match ODI series against the West Indies in the Caribbean starting early September.
No worries at all. Thank you.
And you can follow Meg on Twitter at @GotHerYes and Instagram at MegLanning7. And you can follow us too on Instagram and Facebook at SportsWomen Australia and on Twitter at SWA.
Thanks to My Chemist Warehouse, Australia's cheapest chemist. We'll be back again next week for another chat with another up-and-coming or bona fide star of Australian women's sport.
I can't wait.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for joining us.